What is Purim, and why do Jewish people celebrate it? Purim is one of the most festive celebrations, and it has a special place in the yearly cycle of Jewish religious life. Purim commemorates the events in the book of Esther, and the word Purim, meaning lots, is derived from Esther 3:7, where lots were cast for selecting the day and month to annihilate all the Jewish people throughout the entire Persian Empire. In this story, we are introduced to some of the most colorful characters in the Bible. We meet our heroes, the beautiful Queen Esther and her cousin Mordecai, whom God used to save the Jewish people from the hands of the cruel antagonist Haman, a royal official of the Persian king. Haman had plotted to destroy the Jewish people through legal means. Haman is identified as an Agite in Esther 3:1, a descendant of the Amalekites whose history of enmity with Israel traces all the way back to the time of Moses, when the Amalekites opposed the children of Israel. From that day forward, Amalekites have been Israel's foe from generation to generation, Exodus 17:16. While the ethnic identity of the Amalekites has been lost from history beyond the Bible, the spirit of Amalek is very much alive in the same blind hatred that drove Haman. Throughout the generations, tradition has identified the Amalekite spirit with the anti-Semitic powers that have sought to destroy the Jewish people even to this day. But as the biblical story recounts, Haman's plan was prevented through the bravery of Queen Esther and the wisdom of Mordecai. Mordecai urged her to approach the king, and even at the risk of death, and expose Haman's wicked plot. In a climactic turn of events, the Jewish people are delivered, while Haman and his household are allotted the destruction he intended for God's people. Purim is celebrated as a remembrance of God's preservation of his people, and he has been doing so time and time again. Here are 5 traditions Jewish people observe during Purim. Number 1. The reading of the Megillah, or the Scroll of Esther, is read publicly and aloud at a synagogue service. Now, if you're imagining a solemn and tedious reading, guess again. The atmosphere of Purim is filled with fun costumes, engaging interaction, and of course, yummy treats. Often, the story is recited through dramatic enactments called Purim spiels. During the service, children and adults hold noisemakers called groggers, and whenever the name Haman is mentioned, they make as much noise as possible and shout "boo" to blot out his name and memory. Similarly, when Esther's name is read, shouts of "yay" fill the room. Reading the story of Esther interactively not only helps listeners remember the story and God's faithfulness, but it also inspires faith and courage to stand against injustice and Jewish hate. Number 2. Jewish communities around the world eat a special holiday meal in celebration of God's deliverance in the book of Esther. This meal is called the Suda, which is the Hebrew word for a festive meal or banquet. After Haman's defeat, an edict went out allowing the Jewish people to defend and rid themselves of their enemies. This act was done on the 13th day of Adar, where 75,000 of their enemies were killed. Afterwards, the Jewish people celebrated their survival and victory with a day of feasting. Hence that popular Jewish saying, "They tried to kill us, we survived, let's eat." Number 3. Have you ever wondered why Jewish communities around the world dress up during Purim? Here are 2 reasons. One of them is to symbolize Esther's hidden identity. Esther had initially concealed her Jewish identity in front of King Ahasuerus, so dressing up mirrors her initial hidden identity. The second reason is the idea of hidden miracles. While God isn't overtly mentioned in the book of Esther, we see his miraculous salvation disguised in natural events through his chosen vessels, Queen Esther and Mordecai. Number 4. Eating triangular-shaped cookies called Hamantaschen. There are many symbolic meanings behind Hamantaschen. One of the most common is that the cookie's 3 corners represent Haman's 3-cornered hat, and eating them symbolizes the destruction of his power. These delicious pastries originated in Germany during the 18th century. The pastry is made of flour, butter, and sugar, and there's traditionally a poppy seed filling in them. Modern-day Hamantaschen are filled with other fillings like apricot, strawberry, blueberry jams, and even chocolate. Number 5. Ta'anit Esther. This is the fast of Esther, which is a Jewish fast observed a day before Purim. The fast is usually only done by more religious Orthodox Jewish people. It commemorates the fast that Queen Esther undertook for 3 days before approaching the king. Many Jewish people fast from dawn to dusk on the eve of Purim. We read Esther's words to Mordecai. "Go assemble all the Jews who are found in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens also will fast in the same way. And thus I will go into the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish." Esther 4:16. Ta'anit Esther commemorates the courage Esther had in risking her life for her people. This fast opens a wonderful opportunity to share the gospel with Jewish people because Esther's sacrificial intercession is thoroughly messianic. It foreshadows and frames Jesus' own story and his royal calling. In fact, there are many striking parallels between Esther and Jesus. The first similarity is, in the last hour, both Esther and Jesus wrestle with the troubling threat of death, seek the Lord, and request the support of others. As Esther invited Jewish people to fast with her just before going to the king at the risk of death, so Jesus invited his disciples to keep watch with him in the Garden of Gethsemane just before going to the Sanhedrin at the risk or guarantee of death. Secondly, Esther and Jesus share a courageous willingness to die for the salvation of their people out of profound love and submission to God's will. Finally, Esther and Jesus are both mediators interceding between life and death for their people, and their intercession succeeds in changing or canceling the edict that stood against God's people, condemning them to death. It was the hidden presence and spirit of Yeshua that moved in the book of Esther and within Esther herself, who foreshadowed the messianic path of selfless sacrifice in order to save God's people from a far greater death and a far more malicious Haman. While Purim is a fun, carnival-like celebration, it has a prophetic significance. Purim reminds us that there is a real spirit of antisemitism that has sought to annihilate the Jewish people for thousands of years. But ultimately, God's divine protection will always fight to preserve his chosen people. In this, we know that God's love and faithfulness will never end. And this is true for all followers of Messiah. While we celebrate a great deliverance and defeat of evil at Purim, the holiday points to an even greater salvation and victory over the evil forces through God's chosen royal priest Yeshua, who always lives to make intercession. Hebrews 7:25. This Purim, let us rejoice in God's faithfulness and continue to pray for our Jewish friends and family. Chag Sameach, Happy Purim. Out of all the Purim traditions we've shared, is there one you've done before or would like to be a part of? Comment below. We would love to hear from you. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It would really help us share our content with others. Thank you so much for your support and see you guys next time.